That would be strange. We did have, the La Bataille Fest in Dallas there a few years back.
Is it?
That was there in beautiful Dallas there at John Minchin's house. So
Oh, oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Of course, yes.
yeah,
That
yeah,
was uh, that was
that
uh,
was before the
super. Yeah.
world got shut down.
Yes, just like moments before, actually.
Yeah, I think when
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was flying out, I bumped into a friend who, because I think it was President's Day weekend or yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
No,
Yeah, because it was in
definitely
February,
President's Day. You bet.
and he's got on one of these surgical masks, and so does his daughter. I'm like, what's up with this? Well, there's this thing. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I get back from that,
Yeah.
and within the space of 2 weeks, the whole world has collapsed. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
coincidence? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Yeah. I I was going to suggest that you probably don't. Let's don't do it in McKinney right now because it is currently 11 degrees Fahrenheit here in McKinney, Texas.
My goodness, that is. I mean, unless we're going to be playing, say, Alau, in which case it's perfectly fine,
It's
or
almost mandatory at
yeah,
that
yeah,
point.
or we're going to be playing something like crossing the Berezina.
Oh
That
my
would be
gosh. What
another
a
action-packed
nightmare.
adventure. So
Ooh, ooh, doggy.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Ah, well, yeah. So, yes, apparently this is the coldest high temperature in the last 3 years. It got
Wow.
up to 22 today, so 22 is
Okay.
pretty nice.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. My brother's in Portland, and he'd sent me a note that it was 14 degrees and snowing.
Mm,
And so he says, they get snow from time to time, but it's very rare that it gets, below the 20s, kind of a thing.
yeah.
So this is a particularly brisk cold snap that everyone is
When I
suffering from.
lived in the Portland area, we had a storm, and I think it caught us by surprise. My wife and I were down in Portland at a movie, and the snowstorm came in. I guess we hadn't been watching the news, I guess, because we walk out the movie theater and there's just snow coming down like crazy. And we're
Wow.
like, oh gosh, that would have been nice to know, especially as we're about to get back in the two-wheel drive pickup truck to make our way back up to our house. And sure enough, we made it within a couple blocks of the house, but eventually the truck just started slipping
Wow.
because we're going up a hill up to
Right.
the house. And it just, the back end just starts wobbling around. And eventually I just kind of eased it over to the curb and said, well, we'll walk home. And they'll wonder who in the world parked the blue truck in front of their house, but whatever.
Yeah. Well,
So,
it
yeah.
certainly beats, uh, crashing somewhere with it. So,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, I was grateful that I was able to kind of shimmy it over to the curb.
mm-hmm.
And yeah, but yeah, that's it's good times. We're not getting any precipitation, so it's just cold. I can
Okay.
live with that. It's been a
Sure.
lot worse. Oh man, alive!
Well, we are back here at beautiful parts of, I guess this is Bohemia. So
It is Bohemia. Yep, that's
it's
right. Check now.
yep, yep, and it's a nice sunny day in Bohemia.
Yeah, yeah. Because what was this? This was summertime, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah,
Here I am looking for the date.
I thought I'd have it on something, but
I thought it was on the map. It usually is on these old ones. No? Oh, there it is. There it is. It is June
June
18th.
18th. There you
Yeah,
go.
I got, man, of course, only on Vassal would you not know where that huge logo is. I
Yes.
mean, that is a monstrous logo. Okay.
Yeah, and right now I have a couple of troops. They're marching along it, and this is like those, what is it, those Vasco
The
lines or
Nazca
whatever
lines.
that
Yeah,
are in,
exactly. Yeah.
Peru or whatnot. So what
Yeah,
is
unless they
this?
go up on that hill to the west, they don't even know they're walking across these lines. They're
Exactly,
so big
exactly.
that they have no
Yeah,
idea.
yeah, secretly. Let's see. Mike Wise is tuning in here. He says, I know how you guys feel. It's freezing 55 here in Sarasota, Florida. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, Mike. Yeah. Well, and, California is not too bad here in Southern California. It's a little chilly. I think it's been lows are down in the maybe the 40s overnight, and it's
That is
and
pretty
it's in
chilly.
the maybe mid low 60s here during the day. So it's not too
Mm,
bad.
mm,
So until it comes time for you to think about, buying a house, in which case you go, oh my God. We were
yes,
talking
yes.
about that. There's our next door neighbor's house is for sale, and saw what the price was, and like, oh my God, our children are going to have to move to some a distant, remote part of California or
Absolutely.
out of it entirely because there's just no way to afford stuff. So,
We were just watching a show set in London,
mm-hmm.
and we were trying to figure out how old the son was, and because he doesn't look terribly young, but he's supposed to be young.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, if you stop and think about it, if you lived in London, you'd live with your parents until your parents die, and then you'd take their house because I mean,
Right.
there's no way you could afford um, to buy a house in London, so forget it. So yeah, I'm afraid you're kind of in a similar situation.
Yeah, yeah. It's well, we'll just have to see what the future holds, but at
Yeah,
least based on how
absolutely.
things are now, it is rather shocking how things are. Of course, it's not bad for us. We've been in this house now for 30 years,
Well,
so
right,
we could,
exactly.
we could probably sell it and buy two houses in Texas with the money. So,
Uh, yes, and you probably aren't paying that much in property tax. What was that, Proposition
oh
13,
yeah,
whatever it was?
Proposition for 13. Yep, yep, yep. That's made things.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why California has this sort of yo-yo, budget where if things are good, then our budget's great. If things are bad, then we have these huge deficits because we
Right.
don't because the property taxes have been disconnected from
Right.
reality
So,
for
so much of it's income
decades.
tax, and
Yep.
that's highly variable, especially with all the folks in Silicon Valley with their, selling equities to make their money.
Yeah.
Yeah, my only problem with the house price here, of course, I mean, my assumption is I'm leaving the house feet first, so I don't really care what it sells for. But the problem is here in Texas, we don't have an income tax. So that means the property taxes are ridiculous.
Oh, they're really
And
very high then.
and the price goes up and up and up because other people, like, I don't know, Californians, come and spend ridiculous amounts of money to make houses expensive. And so yeah, and so every year, like, and I'm not that far from actually having the house paid off,
Oh well, good.
but
Yeah.
by the time I pay insurance and taxes, it's only barely going to be less than it was when it was still a regular, house payment. So
Wow.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
whatever. Mm, yep, they will get their money somehow.
They're pretty good
All
about
right.
that. They're
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
insistent. So,
Funny thing about it.
hmm
So we seem to be partway through a turn.
we
Yep.
are. We are. I think when we left things, the Prussians had finished every activation known to mankind,
Yes,
and
indeed.
the Austrians had had a few activations.
Right.
And so this is our chance to try to maybe potentially catch up and get a few things done before the turn ends. So,
Well, not if I have anything to say about it.
well, you get to roll the dice first, so we'll see if the gods of Vassal are
Exactly.
kind to me or not.
Oh, why would they though? Really?
I don't know.
Come on. We lost the historical battle, so I think that Vassal Die God should give us a hand.
Well, you
That's
never
not
know.
enough of a hand. That is
Oh,
not enough
that
of a
is not
hand.
enough.
What is our differential?
We need to get
Two.
over an 11.
No, no. What's the differential? Is it
Yeah.
two?
It's
It's two,
plus two,
yes.
but
Okay.
it
So
doesn't.
that is a valid roll then.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, then carry on. You get yourself
An
an
exciting
activation,
activation.
and
Yeah,
you
so I got
get
to
to
figure out.
try to figure out how you're going to extricate yourself
Yeah, in a word.
from this
Um,
debacle.
yeah, well,
Another word.
I think we're going to sue for peace. But
Oh,
don't tell what's her name, Maria Teresa that
you were thinking of
she.
suing for 1,000,000 marks.
Um, let's see here. We've got our infantry slowly coming into position, but we've got a ways to go with them yet. I'm going to go ahead and who do I need to move? Everybody, but um, I'm gonna activate this other group of people here that were part of Colorado's
Oh
command.
yeah. Oh,
That is,
Colorado.
I think, Puebla. No, this is Sincere, I think. Right? Or, oh,
I'm not sure where you are, so I don't know.
yeah.
He's
I'm
near that
I'm over here
hill.
by the hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not over the hill.
I'm not over the hill, although
Okay.
there is a strong suspicion that I am.
Hmm. It's
Um,
heading that way.
did we hit the clear the move button or something? I don't see the
I did.
little move tag on
No, you're
stuff.
quite right. Everything should have one, but I don't see one. I'm
Okay.
not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not
because I
sure
was trying
when
to
that
think,
got done.
oh, because I've got these guys back here. Did they move? Did they not move? But they were part of the other command that got activated earlier. So, oh
Honestly, I
well.
think they did.
Okay.
To be
Yeah,
honest
that's,
with you, I'm
and I
pretty
was just
sure
like, I thought I'd move them, but they didn't have
because
the
it's
tags on it. I'm just like, this
well, it
really
seems like
weird.
the last time they got moved, they were still dealing with the creek.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think they're all right.
All right.
I mean,
So
I think
Sincere
they're
is
done.
here. So,
Okay.
and then he's got these two guys, and he's within range of
Yep.
Dawn, and he's within range of his wing leader, so he should be happy,
Oh, good.
or at least pretend to be happy. And I think I'll
Yeah.
activate these guns here and these guns here to kind of get them. Well, maybe not
Mm-hmm.
these ones. I'll just activate these ones here to kind of get them moving.
Okay.
So with Sincere, let's go ahead and move there in column. So we can go 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and then we can go, I think, 4. That gets us there. And this is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4 gets us there. And this chap is going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. We got everybody in echelon. It's looking really exciting, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, first class.
Looks
Yeah.
beautiful.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
Now, I should point out something. Unless, and I'm looking at the Vassal module because I'm not sitting in my usual spot and I don't have the hard copies with me, but it looks like those guys are overstacked. No, you know what? I'm sorry. I take it back. I was looking in the wrong column. They're not overstacked.
Yeah, I mean it is a regiment, all here.
No,
So
no,
those guys are.
totally. No,
Yeah.
it's 19, but you can have 32 if you're in column. So,
Okay.
like I said, I was looking under cavalry, which was different, and never mind. I am thinking I really want to bring an A10 in, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh yeah. No, I'm sure that would be handy for either of us to have a little aircraft flying around.
Seems
That
like.
would that could add to some of the spice. Let's see. Artillery moving down a slope is +1. All right. So that's going to cost us. That's 2, 3, 4 to go along there. Let's see. And can I activate artillery that's somewhere else that's not within range of this
Sure,
commander?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And can I activate grenadiers or I mean
They're independent
Grenzers?
units,
Oh, okay.
so particularly if you're not going to move into an enemy zone of control or rapid march, it really doesn't even matter
Yeah, I thought I
where
would
they
take some
are.
shots while I had a chance
Oh
before
yeah,
time
no,
ran out. So
absolutely. No,
um,
totally.
I will.
Well, remember you can still shoot during the end turn, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. I
No,
had to do
remember,
that
the
before.
only thing that really doesn't happen during a limited activation is you don't get to move.
Move.
But
Mm,
everything else, disorder recovery happens, um, fire combat happens, so that sort of stuff happens, just no
right.
movement.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. Cool. So let's see here. Then I don't necessarily need to activate those guys right now. I'm not planning on
No.
moving them, so it's
Right.
just a matter of
Okay.
shooting. So that's going to take care of Sincere. I don't think he's got. I think I moved everybody that's part of his command. I think he's only got those 2 regiments, and then I moved the grenadiers that are kind of been cruising along with them. So yeah, Sincere, 1, 2, 3. Oh, where's the rest of his people? So that's 1, and that's 2. Where are the other guys? Oh, they're here. Okay. All right. So let's go 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4. All right. I'm like, I knew I had somebody else. All right. Fleep. All right, so that should plug that hole eventually. All right, that's it for me there. So it's time for me to throw the dice.
All right.
All right, and that's 1 for me, and that's even a wing activation. That's
Whoa.
even more exciting for
And
what
it
it's
does
worth.
move and turn.
No, it doesn't,
Ah.
because it's got to be over 11.
Oh, it is just 11. Yeah, that's not
Yep.
enough.
Yep. So, cool. I'm going to see if I can't get Sir Baloney, who's your favorite commander, I understand, Michael, to
Sir
Well,
Baloney.
yep,
he's
Sir
did a
Baloney.
crackerjack
Yeah.
job later this year.
See if I can get him to do a wing activation. So let's give it a try here. A 7.
And he hasn't died yet either.
He hasn't. Oh, he's a 7. He managed to pull it off.
Oh, well, there we go.
Good. Well, and you're using him there
Congratulations.
in your Lutzen game, correct?
Yes. He is. He's managed to scamper off
Okay.
without getting killed. His command's pretty shot up, but he gave better than he got, considering how outnumbered he was.
Right. All right. We've got all your cavalry pouring through, so I have to figure out how to deal with that. That's going to be a slight
Cavalry.
challenge.
What cavalry?
All of this stinking cavalry up here.
Oh,
All those
rubbish.
heavies come
Oh,
punching up. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and move O'Donnell and his crowd of people. And so they're all going to do a little maneuver here where they're going to go. So there's 1, 2. No, that's just 1. And there's 2 and 3 and 4. And then they're going to turn back again. And that should be then 5, 6. We have something that approaches a line.
Hmm.
And we will flip them. All right, and then these guys are going to work together for excitement and profit. And they're going to do something similar here, where they're going to go 1, and then 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then 6. And I think that should take care of them.
Alrighty.
All right, and I'll flip their commander over. And then I will park Sir Baloney here. And flip him over. All right. And that takes care of that exciting activation. So it's over to you, David.
Rolling.
91. Hey, that's another wing activation
way.
for me.
Jeepers.
I don't think I've got any wings to activate at this point. Let's see, I've moved. So I will move this chap over here, Starenberg, who's up here at Kretschkor Hill. And we are going to be, he is not within range of anybody. So let's roll to see if he can do anything. I don't know that he can. Oh, actually, he is. Wow, he's a pretty independent-minded infantry commander. That's good to know. I'm glad he's out on this end of the world because he's not anywhere near
Not anywhere near
near
anyone
dawn.
else.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go ahead. We're going to move these units up, and let's go ahead and change the stacking order so we have the artillery on top. And these guys will move up, and we'll change the stacking order there so we can see our big fat guns up on top of that. We've got our reserve. And let's go ahead and see what we want to do. So those guys are all part of that line. So we will these guys here will go 1, 2, 2, 3, and 4 to end up there. And the other guys will do something similar. Whoops. And end up right there. I'm going to move these guns here while I have a chance. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Start to develop my gun line here. Got to figure out where the heck to put those guys, but somewhere where I can blow the stuffing out of your units, I think. All right, and then everybody else will just kind of wait in reserve, I think.
Joke's on you. My guys are cardboard. They don't have any stuffing in them.
Oh, they don't have any stuffing in them? Okay.
No,
Okay.
no stuffing.
All right. Yeah, I think that takes care of that. And I've got people to throw into the mixer there. Okay. So let me go ahead and flip him over. Slowly working on getting everybody set. All right, it's back to you, Michael.
All right. If only I have the talent to roll something big. And I don't.
There you go.
That would be another one for you.
That would be another one for me. It's very kind of you.
Or don't.
I do believe it. Okay, so let me see here. Oh, that's a whole bunch of, those are 3-pounders and 6-pounders. Those are some nice guns. Okay. I got a lot of nice guns. Did you notice that?
Too many, as it happens.
Yeah. That's going to make for some fun here. Eventually, if I can get them anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and activate. Who needs to get in position? I'm trying to figure out. So if I have infantry in the woods, they can be in line. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that this one, woods doesn't require you to go into any special formation.
Okay. And cavalry can also go in the woods, apparently, too.
Yep.
And still, and
slower than Christmas, but yeah, they can.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what I was trying to figure out. So I'm just like, where am I going to put some of these people where they have a fighting chance against your guys? And I was trying to figure out, well, should I put them in the woods? would that be a good spot or not? So,
Well, I mean, Woods obviously has, I mean, a couple of benefits. It helps the defender a little bit in close combat. It helps
mm-hmm,
a little bit with morale checks. It helps a good bit for fire defense.
right.
Obviously, it blocks line of sight. So, depending on what you're trying to protect yourself from, it's a little bit of a benefit, not a huge benefit.
Okay. Okay. Well, I kind of figured uh, you've got, your little panzers over there, or actually David's got
Mm,
his little panzer hussars over there. So I try to figure out what to do to deal with that. So okay, um,
punt,
yeah,
punt.
exactly.
Yeah.
So let's see. I think I will activate Veed, our man Veed, out on the far
Mm.
edge of the woods here.
It is so funny how these names keep coming up over and over again.
Yep. So let's roll
I
for
don't see
Veed.
him at Luthen, come to think of it. I don't think I see him there. Not sure where he
And he
was.
is a good independent commander, so he passes his initiative. So what to do? Hmm. Hmm. All right. Well,
Now, does he? He's got both cavalry and
he
infantry.
does. Yeah. So
That's an unusual command.
he's kind of
Yeah.
magical in that regard. So that's why I was trying to figure out what's the best way for him to deal with stuff. So I'm going to I'll move this cavalry, get these guys to stack with each other. So this guy's going to go here, and I'm going to turn him that way so he can have some fun on your side of the map. And then these guys, one, two, one, two, one, two, three. And then these guys, one, two, one, two. All right. I'll figure out what to do with them here in a minute or two or five. All right. And then we'll put Veed here and we will flip him over. All right. Veed has done his little Veediness.
Mm. Very, very VD. I think it's
Indeed.
your role, isn't it?
I think so. I think
Okay.
so. So let me go ahead and throw the dice. And that's another one for me. How
It,
coincidental.
it would be.
Yeah.
Haven't you rolled an interesting special result for us?
Because I
We had a
only
whole
had
bunch of them last
5
time.
million of them last time. Exactly.
Uh,
So
well, maybe I'm just spoiled now.
you are spoiled. I didn't want to
Okay.
say anything, but
As long as we're all
yeah.
real clear about it now.
All right. I'm going to activate this group of cavalry, which is under the command of Castiglione.
Magnificent.
So indeed. So I'm going to send him over, and because there's nothing more that we need than more cavalry to deal with you and all your evil cavalry. So let's go 1, 2, and then going down the slope for cavalry is +1. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gets us there. And that's the same for them. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can only make it that far. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gets him there on top of Marshal Zukov. Okay. All right, I'll just move that guy here so I don't lose everybody. All right, so that's Castiglione. Good, and I'll move these guns while I'm at it, these ones over here. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll mark them as finished. I wish my guns moved faster, but what can you do?
And
Yeah.
they'd be called tanks if they're
Mm.
They'd be self-propelled guns.
of artillery.
Exactly. All right. So I rolled that one, so we're over to you, David.
And I'll roll this one and another one for you.
Oh, you know, I've got a couple of people that belong to Veed who are way over here by the lines of Peru, so I keep forgetting to move them while I'm moving it. So can I move them here while I'm at it? So this guy's going to turn. That's 1, and 2 gets him there. And this guy's going to turn. So that's 1, and 2 gets him there. Eventually, they'll make it to some important part of the battle.
Yeah, they'll be the rear guard when the rest of the army is streaming to the.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep, they'll be holding off all of your people there. All right, who do I have? I've got this guy here, Andlau, who hasn't done anything exciting yet. And what should I do? I've got his command. So I can move these guns up and they can unlimber in the hex right here. All right, and that should give us a little protection. Let's see, this guy here is attached, so he's going to turn. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. He's heading that way. This guy is going to expand into another hex. So let's find a extended line. And we'll put him there. And then can I have him do a hook thingy?
Costs another movement point, so it's going to cost you 1, 2.
And then 3 to do the hook?
Well, wait a minute. So he's just expanded just now, right?
That's correct.
So it's 1, 2 to expand.
Okay.
And then another 1 to go into hook.
Okay. So let's have him make a hook, I guess. And I guess the left hook's the right one, since that's going to refuse that flank over here, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
What you're thinking about.
That's kind of what I was thinking about.
I don't know that I've really ever done very much of 2 hex formation that's also hooked. I don't know of any special reason it wouldn't work. Nope, says it's a single or multi-hex formation. So there you go.
Okay. Well, I thought it would make sense, right? Because I'm. Because he's kind of the end of the line.
End of the line, brother.
So.
The end of the line for you.
Yeah.
Yep. Any luck at all.
And then I think I need to do the same thing with this guy over here, where I need to put him in a right hook down on this end because his butt's kind of hanging out. So let's go ahead and do that. So I got to find a little marker. And let's go ahead and formation hook. Okay, let's take that. And then what? Do we flip it? And it's a right hook. Okay, cool. Right hook. Okay, cool. And that's a Ferenstein. Okay, and I think, let me see if I got everybody where they need to be. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. That's certainly capable of meeting you and holding you back for a second or two. Okay, so that's going to take care of that command. All right, I'm not sure whose role it is now.
I guess that was David's
Yep.
2-5, so I
Yep.
guess I'll roll. And, well, we finally advanced the time clock a little
We
bit.
did. The clock has moved.
Took forever,
It's
but there it
time to
is.
worry.
All right.
All right, so I'm going to go over here to our friend, Mr. Beck, Mr. Von Beck, out here on the western edge of the map.
Mm.
Yep, with all of his exciting Grenzers,
Oh,
which I
yeah.
wish I had them over at that little town, but
Mm.
because I could have seriously used them to.
But no.
Yep. So I'm going to just march everybody forward. So I think going across that. Well, let me roll for him first to see if he's a 7. Let's see what his status is. He's a 5, so no rapid marches and no close combat, I guess. And then all of these little skirmishers that are part of his posse are out of command. But that's okay. We don't care. So this guy here is going to move. So that's going to be a half. And then that should be what? 2, I
One and
think.
a half.
Was it
Oh.
1 to go across the creek?
Oh, I don't know.
Or
Is
what
it?
is it? Let's see. Stream. Oh, in column.
That's
So it's just, so yeah, you're right. It's 1.5.
yeah. That's
So
just a
that's
stream. Okay.
2. And then that's going to be 3. And that's going to be 4. Let's go ahead and make a disorder check for him. 52. He's happy. Now for all my little baby Grenzers. So I think it's pretty simple for them. So that's going to be half 1. No. What is it for them going across the river?
It's
Or the
plus
stream?
1 crossing the river, and then it's a half for every other hex.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because they're all in skirmish
Yep.
order, right?
So it's 1, and then that's going to be 2, 3, and 4 gets us there. All
Okay.
right. And then my cavalry. Now I'm trying to figure out with this skirmish cavalry, is it basically just acts as a buffer? So it looks like when you charge it, it just retreats before combat. Is that the general idea?
I mean, yeah, that would be the only thing that would be good for.
Okay.
They wouldn't charge, but they would cause me to have to try to make contact with them.
Right.
And
yeah.
then they would retreat before combat, and then, with any luck at all, then you countercharge or whatever. I'm guessing that's the idea. Don't have a lot of experience with them myself.
Yeah, and obviously they're different in this particular game than they are in La Bataille, where they're used mostly for slowing down artillery and infantry movement. While this, it looks like they're more like, as I said, almost like a bumper.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, stopping you.
That's fair.
All right, so because they're in skirmish order, they can move sideways, I guess. They have the same skirmish facing as an infantry skirmisher?
I would have every reason to think
Okay.
so, yeah.
Okay, so they can go 1, 2, 3. And I guess, well, half of 7 is going to be 3, or is it 3.5? Or do we round to 4?
Yeah, it's rounded to 4.
Okay, I'll go there. And then
All
this
right.
guy's going to go 1, 2, and that should keep everybody set, I think.
All right.
So
then.
we have our little shock absorber in case you come out charging at us. Yeah, interesting. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and flip over Von Beck. And there we go.
It's your
he's
roll
done.
now.
Yep, and I'm almost done with people at this point, I think.
I think you would be, yeah.
Oh, there's our special result that you were waiting for.
About dang time.
So a 0-4, that's going to be a Prussian something exciting. 0-4, other player picks, no, that's for me.
No,
Pick one command for fire, combat, or close combat segment.
Okay. Ooh, and unfortunately, we probably didn't do a very good job of marking whether any leaders had already had that.
I think
You,
well, I don't know who did. I think you did get one of those earlier in the
well,
turn.
that's what I was struggling with a little bit. Did you?
It's,
Um,
I think we did it on the light cavalry.
yeah, no, it makes
Yeah,
perfect
yeah, because you
sense.
got that second charge in, I think.
That's where you would have done it. So
Yeah.
we can't do that with them again. I don't know that there's anybody else who's any better. Um,
Well, the only other one would be these guys here, where at least you got somebody who can shoot at me, right?
yeah, we've got what do we got? 1, 2, 3 here, and then 3 here who could fire at this target. And I guess strictly speaking, since we're, well, that's probably blocked because of the Swedish field works.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you could have 3 at 1 hex range and 3 at 2 hex range firing at there if we just decided to go ahead and make this guy the recipient. And I don't think anybody else is in a position that's more appealing.
Yep, sounds reasonable.
Yeah, I don't think you got anybody else who's
No,
in
we got some guys
position.
further in the west who could shoot at 2 hex range against
Oh,
Grenzers.
yeah,
It's
against the
just
Grenzers, yeah.
not really worthwhile.
All right. We'll go ahead and tally it all up.
Did they get half of that one, or is that?
Yeah, I was just thinking that probably that's not. I mean, I don't know, because you got you're crossing the field works twice. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out if that's really a valid. Well, here, why don't we just add up the other ones and see if it even matters?
Okay. So what do we got there? We got
So Fusiliers that are adjacent, 3 times 3 is 9. And then you've got 3.
1 Grenadier and 2 Fusiliers. But there are 2 hex. It's probably times 2 anyway, right?
The Grenadiers are times 3.
Okay, all right.
And the Fusiliers are times 2. So you're going to have 6. Oh, no, you've only got 2 increments there. So you're going to have 4 plus 3 is 7. So 7 and...
Yeah, 7 and 9, it's going to be 16. So it's going to be 1 to 1. So really, even if that other guy added something, it wouldn't do us any good.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I'm sorry, 1.5 to 1.
Excuse me. You rolled a 30, so that's not going to do anything.
It would actually generate return fire if we were using that optional rule, which I thought we were.
Yeah, we are. So I can take a shot back at you. I've got 2 times 5 on this guy here. So that's going to be a 1 to 1.
Minus 5 for size.
Okay, here we go. Now that's probably nothing as well, right?
No, it isn't.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Big woof.
Whiff.
Do these get a shot at here?
Guess they could try.
Sure. I mean, this is blocked because of the...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, really, you'd only get half of a shot there, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So,
in fact, probably make more sense to...
Yeah, take a shot at the cavalry.
Yeah.
I mean, what the heck?
So that might be something.
So you're at... those are Grenadiers, so they're times 3. So you're going to have...
so that's 1 to 1.
It's a 1 to 1.
And it's going to be plus 10 anyway, although it doesn't matter. It's still going to be 1 hit.
Okay. All right. 1 hit. And let's go ahead and where's our little thing to increase that? Come on. Let me increase it. Is there a morale check?
Yeah, there is, because it was an even number.
Even number. Okay. Then let me go ahead and throw the dice for those guys. 44. I think that's good enough for them.
Probably.
Yep.
Although they got somebody in their flank, so I'm not sure.
Well, you tell me.
Well, that's what we're going to look
You're
for.
the expert at this game.
Oh, Oh my gosh, such expectations.
So
Expectations.
morale check.
All right, so this
Fire
is
combat result. Fire.
fire
That's
combat
A.
results going to be A. And outflanked is +10.
So that's going to be then a 45. I rolled a 44. So that means they're going to bug out, correct?
They'd be shaken.
Oh, they'd be shaken. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's a two-step thing.
Okay. I'm used to Labatai where they
Of
fail and
course.
then they're gone. Good
Right.
luck ever seeing them again. No. So, okay. Well, that's all I need. More shaken cavalry over
Exactly. We were worried for you.
there. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that was my special result roll.
Right?
That was
Yeah.
exciting. Let me roll
Yeah, we're
again.
glad you did it. Thank you.
All right, there's a big one. That's going to move the clock.
All right. One more. Here we go.
Okay, where are we at? We're not at the end yet.
Nope,
So we're
nope, we still
nearly
got
there.
One
Let's
more.
see. I still have a little bit of cavalry at the far end of the battlefield that hasn't done anything exciting yet. And I don't know that I really need to do anything with them.
I think excitement's overrated.
I know, I know. Let me see. Yeah, I don't really have anything exciting to do with them. So Dawn's range is 6. And I've got to kind of make sure that I have everybody sort of slightly possibly in range. All right, so if I have him, his range is 5. And there's my leader. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's in range. Good. And then if I move Dawn, he could then keep him in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try to get more people in range is my general hope here. All right, I will then move Dawn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. I think that gets him there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That guy's in range. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll have to move Sir Baloney. Have to work on getting Dawn somewhere where he can use those little trails or whatnot. All right, let's go ahead and take some shots with some artillery while we have some opportunity to do that. So I've got these, and I'll fire these Grenzers here for what they're worth. So let me go ahead and shoot with a Grenzer. So I'll have these 2 Grenzers can combine on this guy here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's going to be 6, and their fire value is times 2. Yes, times 2 at that range. So that's going to
1 to 1.
be 12. This is be 1-to-1 shot. Here we go. Let's see what we get. 48.
Not
That's nothing.
enough.
Okay. All right. So let's me go ahead and put a little finished marker on them. Good. And then I'll have this guy fire, and he can fire. He'll fire over. Well, he'll fire at this guy here while he's at. No, he'll fire at this guy. So that's going to be 6 to 10. So 1 to 2, 98.
So for what it's worth,
Yep.
well, it may not matter. Well, no, it might matter. So if you look on the fire chart,
Yep.
the fire chart dictates. Okay, that's weird. I clicked on the wrong table. That it's the rightmost hex that has the extra.
Right. the extra unit or the extra piece, right?
Yeah, exactly. Um, so strictly speaking, you'd probably want to fire at that because that's only
Oh,
got three in it.
okay.
That's only got three in it, and then you'd actually have a decrement to your fire value.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking that the the extended line had the lower um
Yeah, I mean it. Sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
and maybe that would even make more sense to do it that way, just so it's easier to remember. But that's not how I've
Okay.
been doing
Yeah,
it.
so
So
no, we would
it's the one
take a shot
on
at
the
that
right
one. Yeah.
according to the facing of the unit. So you'd
Okay.
probably want to do it to the one that doesn't require you to take a corrective.
Thank you for letting me know. All right. So yeah, we'll
Absolutely.
we'll take a shot there, and so a
And so,
98 I think would be a hit.
so you said it was a six. So it was 1 to 2.
Yeah, it's 1 to 2, 6
Yeah.
to
And it,
10.
All right.
and
Yeah.
isn't it small target? So
It's
No,
got
it's not.
4.
That was the point because it's got four.
that one, no, he doesn't. He's got 3.
This hex right here.
Yep.
No, because
That's what we were just talking about.
you've got 5 increments left total between those guys, all right?
Right. So the right hand
Oh,
hex
God,
would
he's
have
been hit 3 times. I'm sorry. My bad. Yes, there was a minus to the
5.
size. For some reason, I knew he'd been hit. I thought it was just one, so I thought it was 3 here and 4 here.
It's
But no, it
still
isn't.
a hit.
It's
Even
2
with a minus
and
5,
3.
it's still a hit.
Interesting. All right. All right. Now, I think
And
now
it's a
is the
morale
time.
check.
Now is the time that I need to look.
And I think you'd have to consolidate into
No,
one hex.
that's exactly what I was just checking. Yeah, because once he drops below 5, he has to consolidate. Um, all right, and morale check with a +10. Wow, that's going to be shaken and disordered unless I'm very mistaken.
Ooh, a double 0. It could be that a
Sure.
vortex opens and they are pulled into.
Double aught is almost certainly shaken and disordered, but I'm looking for fire combat result. No, no, it
0
isn't. If
0.
artillery fire, oh no, yeah, there we go.
Oh, yeah, you
If
route, it
if,
looks like.
if artillery fire contributed, then they rout. Otherwise, they're shaken and disordered.
Okay.
Yeah, double aught usually kind of
Something unpleasant.
messes you up pretty good. All right, there we go.
So he needs to be routed.
No, he's shaken and disordered because there was no artillery that participated in the fire
Oh,
combat.
you're right. You're right. I was thinking.
It's
Yeah.
either or.
Okay. All right. So then that guy is finished. Good. And then I've got these 12 pounders up on the hill here. These guys here and here. And I'm going to fire on that hex there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the range. And my 12 pounders at a range of 6 are times
Wait a minute.
8.
I'm sorry. Where's the 12 pounder? I see
There's a 12
howitzer.
pounder there, and there's a 12 pounder there.
Oh, okay.
And
there
and
we go.
Furenstein is there.
Yep,
Can
got
combine
it.
them.
No,
Yeah.
no. I saw you clicking there, and I was like, I don't understand.
No,
Okay,
here and
all
here.
good.
So that's going to be 4 times 8. That's going to be 32. So that's going to be a 3 to 1 shot on those guys there. No modifier. Here we go. 68 at 3 to 1 is going to be 2 hits and a morale check with a +10.
right?
37 becomes a 27. They
Good.
look like they still pass. All right, so that's going to finish those artillery pieces. Those are nice. I'll keep them. And then I've got this howitzer. And how's the howitzer work? It's basically direct fire, or
Yeah, it's direct fire. I think there's an option for indirect fire, but it cuts the strength in half when you
1,
do
2,
it, and it's
3,
just
4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, let's see here. So then can I fire on, you've got 5, I guess. Well, I could fire on what? This hex here with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's going to be times 2 for the howitzers. So they are times 3 at that distance. So that's going to be 6 to 10. And there'll be a -5, I guess, because of your
Yep,
size.
that's
Okay.
right. Yep, absolutely.
All right. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's the range at 7? Oh, it's still times 3. I'll fire at these guys over here. It's the same distance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
still, yeah. So it's going to be 6 to 10. So 1 to 2, but there's no negative modifier. Here we go. 38. That's going to be a miss. Pew. All right. And let's go ahead and mark him as finished. Okay, and none of the other artillery is, well, I do have artillery over here. Is that, those are 6-pounders. I don't think they've got much at that range. What's their range? 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At a range of 9, they're times 3. So that would be 6. Oh, those are some bigger targets too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. At a range of 8 times 3. So that's going to be 6. Well, heck, why don't we go ahead and take a pot shot at this guy over here on your side of the universe, David. So
All right.
I don't know who this is, but he's got 8 factors there. So that's going to give me a little plus, I believe, plus 10. So it's going to be a 1 to 2 with a plus 10. Here we go. That's going to be a 90. That's going to be enough for a hit and a morale check.
Lost and morale check. Ooh.
66. Asked and answered, as they say. All right. Okay, I think that takes care of all the artillery that can really do much at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The howitzers, well, I guess they could fire. They would be 4 to 10. So that's going to be a 1 to 3 shot. I don't know that I could do anything unless I rolled something in the 90s. So I will spare them.
Usually you need a
I would
size
have,
modifier
yeah.
to make it work.
I would have a size modifier if I was firing on, say, this chap here. I'd have a plus 10. 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he's right at the edge of my reach. So I will save it for another day. Well, actually, is there any issue skipping a shot?
Not. Well, what? I'm sorry. What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's no detriment in not firing, so I might as well
No,
take a
there's no
shot.
detriment
Yeah.
to not firing. The only downside is if you got a special result that was detrimental to you, but obviously
Oh.
the chances aren't very high. but neither are the
Now
chances
that
of
you've
hitting.
now
So
that you've said that, all right. So I'll take a pot shot at this guy. So it's going to be a 1 to 3 with a +10. Here we go, and that's not enough. Okay, but we're just making you nervous over there, David. Making you nervous. Till we
I'm
bring
so
the
nervous.
Yep. Till we bring the rest of the guns up, and then it's really a challenge for you. Then we'll start firing into your cavalry and see how you like that. All right. Let's see here. Well, I think that's all of my stuff. So I could flip over one of my cavalry commanders who I did not bother to move. So we will flip him over, and then that just leaves one more command that hasn't activated yet. So I'm
I
not
think it's
sure.
David's roll.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, that's another big one. That's
And
enough to
that's going to
push the
be
clock.
end turn. So I hope there wasn't anything you had in mind for those guys.
It wasn't. They were pretty much just going to hang out where they're at and stare across the battlefield at your guys. So I'm not terribly put out by their lack of activity.
All right.
All right. So if that was the last formation activation, then I will just chuck dice. Not that it matters, but we'll chuck. I guess I'll chuck them again. I guess I'll chuck them a third time. There. Austrians would go first in their rally phase if they need to rally. Looks like maybe they do.
I do. I've got a lot of people that are unhappy. So we start with routed units first?
Shaken
No,
units
shaken first. Okay. So we got this guy here, and so he's shaken, and he's got somebody in his flank. So we know that...
That's a good question, whether that would affect it. Very well might. I just give it a roll, and we'll find out.
Okay. That's probably the best way of doing it. 82. I think he's going to be okay.
And that is... Oh, 82. Oh, well,
yeah.
I don't think we need to worry about it too much then.
Yep. All right. I've got this guy over here who is shaken. Let's chuck some dice for him. 12. He's not any better. I've got this guy over here who's shaken. Let's roll for him. 71. I think he is all better. Well, let's see. He's Grenzer's. He's half dead. And he's shaken. I don't know if that factors in, but he's got... It'd have to be like a minus 31 for him to fail.
Yeah, so no, he's fine.
Okay.
I mean, it's plus 20. Half dead and shaken is 20. But
all right. All right. Then I've got these guys here in the forest who are shaken and disordered. They're not half dead. Let's roll for them. 0-5.
Oops,
is that a special result?
No, there are no special results for rallies or disorder recoveries. So it's just a very low number and no rally.
Okay. All right. Then we'll roll for this guy here. And he's going to have a -8 by virtue of being with the leader.
Yeah, he's got 13. A minus 13 because he's in the trees, but he's got plus 15 for shaken and disordered. Don't believe for a minute that that's going to be good enough.
Well, let's see. But don't I have a +8 for the leader? No. You already factored that in.
Yeah, it's -8 for the leader. It's -5 for being in the trees. So it's minus 13
okay.
with a plus 13 or plus 15 for shaken plus disordered. So it's really a net of +2. So yeah, no way is 13 going to be enough.
Okay, and so then this guy over here, shaken disorder, that's a -15, correct?
It's going to be plus 25 because he is half dead.
Okay.
And shaken and disordered.
And shaken and disordered. 63.
Might still be good enough, though. Plus 25. 38 is all you're looking for.
Take a look. He's a 26.
Yep. He's just disordered now.
All right, and let's see. Oh, went the wrong way.
Yeah, inevitably. You got two choices. You got to know which one you're going to do.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I think that's it for everybody who is
For shaken, yeah,
shaken.
probably so. Yeah. All
All right.
right. So
So we've
then
got people that
three
are
routed.
routed. Yep. So we'll start with this guy back here in the back. So he's half dead and he's routed.
So that's 25.
Okay. Here we go. 96.
Whoa. Okay. Pardon me.
All right. So he's now just going to be shaken and disordered.
Suddenly remembered he was trying to impress the ladies at home.
Yeah. All right. And then this guy here, I don't know how many increments he's got. 8. So he's not half dead. Let's roll for
No.
him.
It's really
99. Even
it's just
better.
plus 10 for him anyway. So
Yeah. So
because he's in the trees.
he's shaken and disordered. All right. And then
Right.
this chap over here, he's half dead. So he's looking at another
Plus
plus
25.
25. 39. Nope, that's not going to do it. So he's going to
The
go back
only
another
question
6.
there is he a 39? What's his printed value?
I think his printed value is less than that. It's a 26.
Okay, perfect. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, he just runs 6 more.
Okay. All right. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right. So that takes care of all of my business. I don't think I had anybody else anywhere else who was unhappy. So now it's over to you guys.
All right, well, start over here on the right. um, this guy is shaken, so let's see what he's gonna do. Oh yes.
Okay,
He should be happy.
put me in, coach.
And
All right.
then I have this other shaken one up here.
He's going to be plus 20 because he's in an enemy zone of control.
And he's half dead.
Oh, plus 30 then.
So that's not going to be enough. So he's
think
still gonna
so.
be shaken.
Okay. I got.
He's got one routed guy.
Well,
Okay,
Oh,
well, we can go
you
and
might
do
as well
that.
take
I
care of
mean,
him while you're in the neighborhood, right?
sure, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so there we go. So that's plus 25.
Nope.
Oh. He's pretty good. He probably is higher than a 20. No, he's not. So he loses an increment and runs. And when stuff goes sideways, it goes sideways.
4, 5. Actually, it makes more sense going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, we got Hex to Hex and William R. Renz checking in from
Howdy.
beautiful Kitchener, Ontario.
Inevitably.
Mm-hmm. That's right. We're feeling the chill down here in the lower part of the U.S. So
Yeah.
we've inherited the Canadians' cold weather. Go figure.
Okay. Well, then I guess I will do my shaken guys. I got a shaken unit here. And he has changed his mind.
What's left of him?
Oh,
Oh, actually, he's not in bad shape. It's the other guy who's all beaten up.
No, it's the other one who's got the other one here is a plus 25, so that's a whole lot more of a big deal.
Oof.
And that's not going to improve anything for him. So he remains as shaken and disordered. I think that is it for our rally phase.
I think you are correct. We can probably move the clock forward and press the
Yep.
end of the turn button
Looks
to
like
get
we
everything to
should.
flip over.
Yep. Let's do the end turn and move to the 3:20 hour right there.
And the move button.
And the moved button. Well
Oh, yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah. That's
Gotta do
always
that.
important.
All right. All right. Well done. And I don't know. I mean, I assume that we'll just stagger on, even though we're not ending at the end of a turn. I don't know if that's really a problem or not.
I don't think so. We can play until, for another
Mm-hmm.
40 minutes or however long you want to, when we kind of
Yeah.
bump up to about 2 hours of gameplay, and then just
Okay.
pause the game at some convenient moment and
Right.
pick it
Let's
up.
just be let's just be real careful about marking finished and stuff like that. Obviously, it's so much easier to remember if you're playing it all in one session. But if you're switching sessions, then we ought to be real careful, and we might even think about, uh, like we remembered that the light cavalry had done an extra close combat segment, but we probably should try to be a little careful about that too if we're going to carry over.
Well, what did we do last time? Did we put a little finished marker on people, or what was it that?
Yeah, that's the way we usually handle it.
Okay.
Just independent units get finished markers on them.
Okay.
But
Anybody who's not a member um, of a command would
Hmm.
get a finished marker, and then obviously members of a command. Well, if your commander's flipped over, then you're good. So anyway, it's easy, especially if you're kind of in the groove and playing along. It's like, I know that guy fired, so
Right.
I don't need to worry about that. But it's another thing if it's 2 weeks later and you come back and you go, ooh, did that guy fire? Well, I don't know. Did he? I don't know. So that's
no,
good.
I think he was also referring to the light cavalry that had the special action.
Ex-
We were also using like a finished marker on that too.
exactly, and
Right.
that's just one of those things that and this is interesting because I noticed at Luthen, for example, and it may not be the same in all the special rules of all the games, but definitely in Luthen. Um, for example, if you get a free movement segment, that's one of the special events that can sometimes happen. Um, and then you get a free combat segment. Well, you can do both of those to the same command. It's just you can't do the same special event more than once to the same command.
Mhm.
Right.
So that kind of complicates it a little bit more because we could put a marker on the leader, but it's not going to be unambiguous. We'll have to remember
Well,
which special result was that if it was one of those ones that requires marking. I don't think it's the end of the world. I'm just
right.
observing it.
Yeah, but the what you could do is just put a number, a loss counter, number counter under the corresponding to what event was
Well,
finished.
you could. That's
Right.
fair if it comes to that. So, all right. Well, very good. Well, then I think we are ready to go then for the 320 turn.
All right.
And
Well, Michael, as usual, go ahead and toss some dice.
right. Well,
Did we win yet? Oh,
Are you asking for my surrender yet?
and honestly, until your cavalry, puts paid to his boys, I think it's going to be hard for him to really feel right about surrendering.
I'm sure that will happen sooner than I care to think about.
Well, not going to happen immediately though, because we just got a Austrian activation to start the turn.
Woo! And it's a wing activation too.
No, it's not.
Oh, you're right, because it's not double. Oh,
Right.
fiddlesticks. I thought we could round it, couldn't we?
Oh no, you could, but only if you're playing solo.
All right. So let's see what sort of exciting things we should do. Oh, I need to try to
Step
one,
away
two,
for a
three,
moment.
four. 1, 2, 3, 4. Um, let's see. So if units are out of command, they can still do things. Correct? Potentially.
they can still like move it half, whatever. There's a
Okay.
few things to do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I was just trying to figure out how to, like, this guy here has got his butt hanging out. Try to see if there's a way I could. I mean, I could extricate him because you're disordered, so you can't opportunity charge me. So that would be one way I could kind of get out of this little sticky wicket that I'm in. So 1, 2, 3. Well, maybe not. All right. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could bring him up there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Get him over there. All right. I'm going to try to get Haddock to do something exciting. So let's go ahead and roll for Haddock. An 8. What is Haddock? Haddock the Paddock. He is a 6. So he cannot do anything too terribly exciting.
All right. Well, next would be your disorders.
Yep. So this guy's disordered. So do you know what the modifier is for being disordered? Is it just a -5 or? That's morale checks. Disordered. Disorder recovery, G. Well, it doesn't look like there's any modifier that I can see unless it's on a different page.
Yeah.
Is it
Don't
on another
remember that.
page? Is there a separate page? Disorder check special resort.
That's the special
Just the
results
morale.
if you do that. Yeah, it's just
Okay, so
part of
here
that.
let's
Oh,
roll for that chap. A 35, and I think
I think
he's
he was like
he's a
26 or
25 or
something.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he's okay. Yeah. So we can remove that and flip him back. All right. And delete that. All right. And then Haddock's guys will automatically undisorder. They'll just be shaken now. There we go. All right. These guys here, let's roll for them. 26. I don't think that's going to be good enough. Yeah, they're a 28. And it's not a morale check, so there's no bonus for being
Right.
in the woods. All right, and then we've got these guys here. 98. They are definitely not.
Disordered anymore.
Yep. They're just shaken. Okay. So now we've got a bit of a sticky situation here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, I'm back. Did we win?
Almost.
Working on it.
Oh, I
Yep.
can
All
do a
right.
backup move, can I? And a
You
backup
can.
move, yeah, okay. And
Cost
does a
you one
backup move
extra.
cost 2 or 1 or what?
It costs 1 extra movement point for every hex, and then you got to take a disorder check.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to move this guy back like that.
All right. And I get a shot as he leaves that hex. So,
Oh, do you?
yeah.
Ah,
From the Grenadiers, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was if I was moving into it, you got a shot. But you're saying if I move out of it, you get a shot.
Right.
Okay. Take your shot.
Yeah. Yeah. If you move into that hex from somewhere, no, I don't get a shot. It's when you move out of that, right?
right,
So,
because you shoot as somebody leaves a hex,
Oh, okay.
and obviously if you approached him, you'd be leaving that hex.
Right.
But if you back away, you're also leaving
Yeah.
that hex. Or he can roll an 18,
and it
Okay.
doesn't matter at
And
all.
then we're going to
and it
turn.
doesn't matter a particle.
Yep. All right. And then let me go ahead and make a disorder check for him. And he's quite content. This guy here is then going to change his facing to deal with the oncoming nastiness.
Really annoying not to have
1,
gotten the
2,
first
3, 4,
activation here.
5, 6, 7. Okay, so then this guy's going to move up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then he's going to turn. So that's 6 and 7 puts him there. I'm going to go ahead and activate these grenadiers. They're within the command range of that guy, so they can
It's all right.
move
They're an
their
independent
thing.
unit.
Yep. So 1. So for them to turn 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, don't they have to take their own activation roll?
I thought if they were within range of the commander who's activated, they didn't have to.
But you failed your activation.
Oh,
Oh, in that case, they would need to roll their own. Yeah,
okay.
that's for sure.
All right. So I have to make a morale
Although
check,
you know
correct?
what, they're within 3 hexes of Nadazdi anyway. So
Of who?
Of this
here.
guy.
Is it any commander? Okay.
It's either the currently activated command leader or any non-command leader.
Oh, okay.
In
So
this
then
case,
they're fine.
that's a non-command leader, so they're okay. They don't need to roll.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So I'm going to turn him 1, 2, 3. Or actually, I could just back him up.
You could.
I'm so sorry.
I
So I
assume you
could back
rolled a
him up.
disorder check for the last guy.
Yeah, I did.
there
I
you go.
passed it
Yep,
with
there you
room to
go.
spare.
Yep.
Can I back up more than 1 hex so it costs 2 to go
Yeah,
there?
because it costs you 2 to go there. If you want to back up another one, that's 2 more and you're done.
All right, I'll do that.
Except that's going to be 5.
So it's a +5.
Well, the trouble,
You can't do it. Yeah.
the trouble is that's oblique marching. You were
Oh, okay.
And the real problem is you can't rapid march and line back up at the same time. So really no, because if you'd wanted to go there and been able to go there, then you could have backed up 2 in a row. But because you were doing like this, it was actually going to cost you 5 to get there.
Okay.
That would be rapid marching and line back up. You can't do both at the same
All
time.
right. So I probably should have moved him first, and then I could have put that guy there, and that guy would have been there.
I suppose so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay. That's what happens in the universe.
It's the fog of war.
Indeed, it's very foggy. Okay, so then I can move some of my... So I'm going to definitely fire this guy while he's got a chance before he gets pasted. So I don't have to... I guess I could roll for him, although I'm not planning on moving him necessarily. He's having so much fun where he's at.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm supposed to roll 2 dice. Okay,
Yes,
well,
you
he's
are.
happy.
All right. He's fine. Okay. All
So
right.
let me go ahead and take a shot at you. So I'm going to have 10 to 10, a 1 to 1.
1 to 1 minus 5.
-5. Here we go.
Nope.
65.
Just missed.
All right. Well, next time.
Mm,
Okay, and we mark him as whoops. We
Assuming
flipped
there is a
him.
next time, of course.
Oh, come on. These are my magical Grinzers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How could they possibly fail?
Mm.
Don't
world
answer that
wonders.
question. 1, 2. All right, this guy's then going to move here. So just moving there doesn't trigger anything. It's only if I moved 1 more forward that you would fire at me, correct?
Yeah, it's leaving the hex within their firing range.
Okay.
That's what triggers it.
Okay. All right. Well, that I think is okay. So we'll mark him as finished. We'll mark him as finished. I've got this guy here who I guess could fire. Well, I don't know. I mean, he'd be at half. So he'd only be 3 to 10. I don't think he could even hit the guy there that's in the village.
Oh.
This guy
Well,
here.
no,
he can fire at this guy over here, though.
Yeah,
that would
actually,
be a better shot.
That's your better buy for
Yep.
sure.
So I'd have 6 to 10, and you've got 12 increments there.
That's right. Yep.
So that's going to give me a plus something or other, a
Yep.
plus 15.
Right.
So it's
So 6 to
1
10
to
is 1 to
2 with a
2
plus
plus
15.
15.
Here we
Sure. It's
go.
worth a shot.
91.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
that's going to be a hit.
Should be
And
1, but
yep,
that'll be all.
yep. It's okay. Chipping
Yeah,
away
no,
at
it's
him.
still pretty nice.
A hit's a hit. We'll take it. All right. And we'll mark him as finished. All right. And if they're finished, they can still do opportunity fire when people are moving around, correct?
Yeah, yeah. That just means that they're finished with their activation. They can't activate anymore. But opportunity fire or opportunity charges don't require that you're not finished.
Okay. All right. Let me finish my movement of my cavalry over here. So generally speaking, if I stack shaken with non-shaken, that's less than optimal. That's going to make
Yeah, it
everybody
always
shaken.
goes to the worst
Yeah. Okay.
of anybody.
Okay. So this guy can move here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then can you charge out of the woods, or how does that work? Or do I have
Yeah,
to
you
be?
could charge out of the woods.
Okay.
Because really the charge movement is as if you're really at the edge of the woods. So
Okay.
I mean,
I will.
you're not doing special cavalry movement in that hex.
Right.
You're doing special cavalry movement into whatever hex you're going into. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Then I will just kind of turn him that way so he can deal with the legions of people swarming swarming through here in no time at all. All right, and so I think that should take care of it. Everybody else, and if you're shaken, it's you can still have your regular movement. Is that correct?
Yeah, shaken is regular movement.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'll move this guy up so he's going to get a little closer to the action. And then these guys, we will just leave them where they're at for the moment. 1, 2, yeah. So, okay. Well, I think that's about as good as I can do for that little command. Sort of save my bacon. And then
It's important though. Bacon's important.
bacon is important. Generally speaking, with these Grenzers that I have out here opposite you, would
Yeah.
it make sense for me to fire them now? Or so they get their fire, and then if you move forward, they would get their fire opportunity
Yeah.
fire?
Yeah. I mean, really, there's not much disincentive. Obviously, the artillery would probably be better off waiting for me to get a little closer because that might make for a more powerful shot.
Right.
But yeah, your Grenzers would be getting they'd be getting a free shot when they moved anyway. So what's the difference?
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
then I think I might as well activate them. And so I will, just going down the line from this side to that side, roll for their initiative. So a 09, that's no good. A 75, that one's good. 76, that one's good. And a 36, that one's not good. So the two in the middle can do something, and the guys on the end,
Of course, they can all shoot.
yeah, they can all shoot. But the guys on the end can only move half, correct?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and I can have all three of these guys fire on the rightmost hex, which is that one there, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's
So
right.
that's going to be 18 to 10. So that's going to be 1.5 to 1.
Yep.
No pluses, no minuses. Here we go. A 46. That is a return fire. but we're not.
No,
Yeah,
it isn't. We're
it's
not
not.
using that.
Yeah. So that's not going to work. And then this guy can take a pot shot at these guys here, I guess, right?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yep. So that's going to be 6 to 10.
1 to 2.
1 to
Yep,
2.
1 to 2.
70. That's nothing. All right. Now, what do I want to do with my boys? They're going to be unhappy here very shortly as your guns all start to blast away at them. So I should probably move them back a little bit. 1. Or move them somewhere. All right. So this guy's just going to move over here. And that cost 1. And
Are you
he's.
sure you want to do that?
Oh, do you get a shot at me? Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
because I'm within 2.
Sure.
Yeah,
Now,
sorry.
to be fair, your what is the effect of being in the
In
sunken
the
road
sunken road.
for skirmishers? Is there? Gotta go look that one up.
So I'd have a fire defense of 15.
Right. That's why I'm kind of wondering if what's the effect if you're a skirmisher. Where's Sunday? Where's Sunday? There we go. Skirmish units always receive the 15 fire defense value, provided all enemy fire comes from a non-sunken road hex. I knew it was mentioned in there somewhere. So obviously that means you could go ahead and move. Yeah, some of my guys will get a shot at you.
Right.
But it's
so
all
you'd
2x
have
range. It's not the end of the world.
you'd have 2 and 2. You'd have 4.
Be 6 times 2 probably, so it's going to be 1 to 1.5.
No, I'm fine there. I will move this guy here though.
Okay, well, I'll get a shot at him from
Right, with
there.
that guy there, yep.
So, and did we decide village was 10?
Village is 10, and then you've got
Okay.
a minus 10 for being skirmishy.
Pretty lightweight villages there. And musketeers, 2 hex range, it's going to be times 2, so it's going to be 8, so it's going to be 1 to 1.5 minus 10, so I need to roll pretty well.
85 becomes a 75 at 1. That's just missed it. That's another R result, it looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Right. All right.
Okay. All right. I will mark them as finished. And then these guys have done their little magical stuff. And voila. Okay. All right. That is it for me. It's over to me to roll.
You. Yep.
Okay. Here we go. Let's see what we get. That's a big one for you guys. That's about as big a wing activation as you could possibly get without getting a special result.
Yeah. Trying to think about a wing activation and where the value would be. I mean, Zeton's light cavalry is all one big command, right?
Yep.
And then was it Hulson is the other guy who's another command. I don't know if there's any 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, I mean, actually, you could do a wing activation with them, I guess, couldn't you? Because Zeton's in a position to reach both of them.
He is.
So I don't know if you're interested. Unfortunately, I don't have Penavere in a very good location, so I can't really get a very useful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I mean, I can only activate 2 commands with Penavere because I've kind of got them in a dumb place. I mean, I don't mind doing it. I'll do it. It's just we just wanted to make sure we're thinking about what we're doing with the wings. Got strong feelings?
Um, let's see. I was I was thinking of waiting with Zetenford a little bit, but the um, Treshow could do a wing. He's got his, but is that worth it?
Oh, where is he? There's what?
Treshow's over
B,
here.
B, and
He's got Braunschweig
right. I'm looking for the
and then
other
he's
one.
got Inslingsberger.
Gesundheit.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know if that one makes a whole lot of sense because we need to get the cavalry up and out of your way. Probably makes more sense to do the cavalry first. I mean, I could go ahead and do Penavere. It's all right with me. It's just that we'll only be activating these 2 because Penavere's in a dumb location.
Right. Well, any one of them is only activating 2, so. Um,
Well, yeah, okay, sure.
Was it a case where you just forgot to move him, Michael, or?
Beats me. It was last week. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I was just curious if there was some method to your madness.
Well, I don't know. I mean, no, if there was method, I don't know what the method was. I'm blaming low blood sugar, even though I think that was the previous session. But
That
that's
was
my
the
story,
previous
and I'm
session.
sticking to it.
That'll work.
So I'll go ahead and do it. What the hell?
yeah, go ahead, because I'm
All
not.
right.
I was.
All right. Well, I don't need to roll for him. And so we'll just go ahead and do these 2 commands here. Everybody's in command. No disorder recovery required. And so then we will proceed on. Just looking to see, is there anybody else useful who could do anything at all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's probably a long damn way. 9 for a 12-pounder. What's that going to be?
For your 12-pounders,
Yeah.
at 9, it's times 3.
Yeah, see, that's pretty lame. Yeah, and then he can't move, so to hell with it. All right, fair enough. So we'll just go ahead and do... These 2 guys will turn and move in here. And then...
So that's 5 points.
And... Oh, all 3 of those. Wow, I'll be darned. Okay, well, that's weird, but all right. These 3 will all move up comme ça. And then these guys back here are going to get themselves organized. I know what the problem is. I'm zoomed out. I need to zoom back in so I can see what I'm doing.
That's
Says the
usually
old
the way it
man.
works.
Oh, man.
So you've got the
Okay.
KR people and the ME
1,
people.
2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. 6. There we go. And he will come up and go 1, 2, 3, 4, and he'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Then we'll move the commander up, face him because I'm kind of OCD about that. Flip him. Flip him. Panavere now is going to move 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's not a really useful thing. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
If you put him on the trail, right, then like somewhere along the trail here, right?
Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah,
mostly was just trying to get him close enough to the commanders to be of use, but
yeah.
yeah, I mean, for sure he would be close enough at that point because the king is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 away, and so yeah, plenty close there. All right, well that's it, David. I think it's your roll.
Um. All right. That's
Oh,
well.
it's a special something or other. A 0-1. Army leader lapse. Army leader may not trace his LOC or use his command rating. So that's on the Austrian side. So I guess I am
Mhm.
lapsed.
Right. So
Okay.
that means that
You're going to have big pluses.
it's literally, well, yes. I mean, it means that yeah, he can't use his command rating.
Right.
Uh, the other part of it is that anybody who activates has to roll,
Right.
no matter where they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Okay.
if he can't go out to a wing leader or anybody else, then everybody is
Yeah.
equally unhappy.
Nobody can trace to him because he's like having a salad
Right.
or, well, whatever.
Or his horse stumbled and he's in the process of getting his boot out of the stirrup.
Something like that.
Yeah.
All right. So that's entertaining, but yeah, the other part of it is the difference
Well, go ahead
in
and
the
roll a
in the
0-1 and make me laugh.
yeah, or a 1-0, which undoes the army leader lapse.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now, what is our plus? Is it +5 now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's definitely yours. And it moves the clock.
And it moves the clock, right? Okay.
Another
So
wing for us.
Another wing ding.
that is a wing. Yeah. All right. Well,
Uh, what do we got here now?
what do you think now? What do you think now?
What do I think now? Nah, I don't think anymore. Um,
So if we were more deeply engaged, that roll could be really crippling because you with a +5, you could do whatever you want, and the chance that I would be able to get an activation somewhere would be really limited until
Yeah.
you poured everything out.
Yeah. I mean, to a degree, right? Obviously, when we're finished with our formations, then obviously you're still going to get activations even so. But you're right, it also, you run the risk that if we keep rolling high numbers that we may not even get to the end of our activations or only just due,
Right, and
and
then
then there's nothing left for you.
yeah.
Yeah. It also means that if you wanted to do a counterattack, well, you can't with any of your infantry because
Because well,
because
if they pass, or wouldn't they be able to?
oh no, you're right. The local commander would have
Yeah,
to roll
yeah,
for himself though. But
yeah.
but you're right. But it again, it could make it difficult to do what you want to do. But you're absolutely right. The real problem is just the initiative rolls are probably going to go overwhelmingly for the other guy. And if the other guy's clever and rolls 98s all the time, then the turn's over.
Right. All right. Well, you guys
All
got
right.
another wing ding.
All
So
right.
figure out what you want to do
What
with
are
your
you
big wing
thinking? I
activation.
mean, we're all good friends here, David. Are you trying to wait for him to activate his other light cavalry before you activate, or what are you trying to do here?
um, well, I didn't want to do it as a whole wing part of it,
Okay,
but
that's totally fair. Totally fair.
and the as um, and I hadn't really figured out what I want to do with the on the
Okay.
late method,
All right.
but,
So
but
so
yeah, I mean, we
okay.
could,
Well, first of all, don't feel the need if if it doesn't make sense. If you're willing to just take a single activation, that's fine too. Uh, if if you want, I could just take a single activation and just move some more of Pennevere's cavalry.
well, and then the other thing I'm trying to, all right, so with Trish out here, I'm trying to basically shift a little to our left with them,
Yes,
and
yes. The other thing I'm going to recommend, since we're talking in front of the enemy here,
yeah,
is that I figure if they move up and stay close, then it makes it unpleasant for his cavalry. Because if our cavalry and his cavalry get into a snarling match, then um, then it's very handy if there's infantry nearby to knock off, disordered units that can't get away, shaken units that can't get away, whatever. So I figured as long as Trescow is doing whatever he's doing, just stay close to the cavalry so that they can get involved in the battle as it develops.
right.
But yeah,
Um,
by all means, if you want to go ahead and do him and just go ahead and move him up as much as you can,
so let's see what do we got
we
there?
do have a lot of sunken road in front of you, which is a little awkward.
Yeah. Well, that was one thing. Is it better for defense behind the sunken road or in the sunken road?
No, it's better to make the other bastard be on the sunken road.
Yeah.
But
Right.
for close combat purposes, for fire combat purposes, there's some advantage to being in the sunken road. But I think at least one of your flanks has to be on one of the hex sides that's on the sunken road. So it's kind of a function of which way you're facing too.
Right.
But yeah, being in the sunken road's not great if somebody's going to move up and do close combat on you. And of course, you got those Grenzers on the other side of the Swedish field works. Just, I mean, although it'd be lovely if they would all die.
They're nearly there.
I'm
Well,
working on it.
they are definitely paid up on their life insurance.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
They've written all their letters back to their sweethearts.
Those of them that are literate.
well, let's get it over. Let me. We'll work my way through it here. It might take
All
a
right.
little bit, but we'll activate Zeton Wing there.
All
Now,
right.
I don't think he's in range of the king, right?
I don't think he is. I'd be stunned if he was.
Um,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nah, there's no way he is.
so,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, he's actually closer than you'd think. He's 12 away, but nevertheless.
all right. So I gotta
So
roll.
he's got to roll.
Gotta roll one die, and he's okay. So
He's happy.
Yeah, if he ain't a 4, then
Yeah, he's.
No,
I
I think
misread
he's a
all my
9.
history.
I think
No,
or
no,
he's an 8 or something.
he's an
Yeah,
8.
he's an 8. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
On that. So he is acting. I'll say next is disorders. Okay, where do we got? So let's try him for disorder. Oh yes, he's
He's
fine.
happy.
So what do we got? One, and we'll try him for disorders. And actually, I'm going to. Uh, oh, that was a single die. Sorry. yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. I also want to activate this artillery, and this artillery.
Why not? Go
Why
for it.
Not? Now, if this artillery shoots at this, do the infantry combine?
No, artillery and infantry always fire separately except defensive fire. And that is
Except
the
defensive
one.
fire. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So really you kind of need to make up your mind which one you're going to do because you can't shoot. Wait a minute. I don't think you can shoot at them twice.
Well, I thought
Actually,
if I was
no.
within your, isn't there like a magical range of 3 or something?
No, that's for I mean that's for multiple artillery units to be able
Oh, okay.
to fire. I'm, I think I'm I've played this game before, haven't I? So I'm supposed to know the rules.
You're supposed to
I
know
don't
it
know.
better than we do.
Well,
At least that's what
okay.
all of our adoring fans on
Uh,
YouTube
no
think.
unit may be fired at more than twice per fire combat segment, once by infantry fire, once by artillery fire. So you can actually do both in
Okay.
whichever order you prefer, but you don't combine them.
All right. So I can get two shots at him, one from my infantry and one from the.
Yeah, but I mean, he probably gets a benefit from the field work. So, but I mean, it's still worth a try, I guess, for
Yeah.
one.
I mean, I've got 10, 10 because of range
Two times
there.
five.
Yeah. So
So it's 1 to 2, though, if you're halved, right?
it's halved. Why? Because the field work halves it.
I
No,
think
he's
it
got,
does.
yeah, he's, so at this range, what, it's times 5, so that's going to be 10.
Right,
And firing across the fieldwork is halved. So it would be
right.
5
So it's
to,
1 to 2
yeah.
minus 10. So, honestly, and for my money, I would move the guns forward instead of firing them. I don't think there's that much benefit to firing them at 1 to 2 minus 10. But I think there's more value to getting them closer to the enemy.
Now the yeah. Okay. So that'll be this one here.
Yeah.
Can he fire on here?
Ooh, boy.
I think we
I
actually
don't
addressed this question once,
I don't think so because that's actually going through that hex.
but or maybe it's a different game because now this he can fire on there,
Absolutely, yes.
and but which leaves him, but he can't fire on here because it's going through my hex. But why would your units blocking just a little bit affect what they can fire at? I
I mean, I don't know. It's just that I mean you don't have line of sight to that hex, unfortunately, because this guy's here, and you can't the both of you can't be firing at him because if you were firing at him, you wouldn't be able to determine fall of shot properly because it's two different batteries, and you're going to be miscorrecting your fall of shot. Where here, you really can't even see him. Now, if we looked here, oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
what it could be is just like on the other side, one guy shoots and then they both could prolong, right? So if this guy could fire and prolong and this guy can prolong, you could prolong them both into that hex and then they'd be able to combine
yeah,
fire in
yeah.
the subsequent
So,
turns.
well,
so
they can't. I can't put that many. You can only do two increments of artillery in a hex, right?
I think
No, you
that's
can have
true.
8 in clear. You can have 8 increments of
Yeah,
artillery. So
yeah.
you
I
could
mean, they
have 2
become,
batteries stacked easily.
yeah. So I would say fire the one who can fire and prolong,
Yeah, and then you
and then
prolong them both
prolong them
into that
both, and
hex.
then next turn, then it's Katie bar the door. And he doesn't have any artillery nearby, so there's no reason not to
Yeah, I
stack
don't
up a
have
bunch of
any,
artillery.
yeah, no counter battery
No,
fire.
no, I
So,
agreed.
yeah.
All right. Okay, so I guess this guy at 6. What's he at? 6 pounders at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
Right.
times 3.
So
1
You've
to 2.
got 6 to 10, 1 to 2, and there's no pluses or minuses.
No, there is a plus because that's 8.
Oh, you're right. I kept thinking of him as 4. So yeah, so you'd
Right.
have a plus 10.
All right.
So 1 to 2 with a plus 10.
Yeah, what the
Okay.
hell?
Yeah, it's not going to hurt.
That's
Or
not
not.
gonna do
Yeah.
anything.
Okay.
I will shoot infantry at this guy here then.
Okay.
Why
What did
not?
we? I don't know what we figured that out
Well,
was
it
before.
So
was it was it was 1 to 1 last time. No, I'm sorry.
because
It-
he's 3 times
3 times 3.
3 times 3. So he's 9, and then this other chap was 7, I think. So we said it was 16 to 10. So it's
It's-
one and a
so
half to
it's
1
1.5 to 1, but it is -10
minus 10. Yeah.
because they're skirmishers.
1.5 to 1 minus now.
Oi,
My shooting
oi.
is like. All right. So I did my disorders. I don't think I had any more left. All right. So now and I did my firing. So now it's movement, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So first move will be that.
Okay.
All right. Um, this guy here is going to do here. You get a shot at half.
At half, right?
So that's going to
So
be
that's
1 increment times, and it's a range of 2,
3.
correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's going
So
to be like
it's
1 to 3.
yeah, 1 to 3, and there's no. Is there any pluses? No. So can I even do anything?
Oh, only a special result would do anything.
Oh, okay. No,
All right.
And then you also get another shot.
and it's the same thing, correct?
Exactly the
Okay.
same. No
Here
change.
we go. Well, that was a good roll, but
Yeah, but 90 still ain't going to be enough.
yeah.
All right.
All right.
So that's 2 points. And does he stop there, or I guess he?
Stop in there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, let's see. And that's 1, and that's 2. And the movement. Okay, so you say I can stack my artillery here.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think 4 strength points can fire out of the hex. So
Well, if you can have 8 stacked, you could have. Oh, you're right. You can only fire 4 out of the thing.
right, it would
Yeah.
start getting pretty crowded, but that's okay because 4 is a lot.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty powerful battery.
Yeah.
All right. Do I want to do anything more with that cavalry right there? All right, now I got to figure out what I want to do with the light cavalry here. Jeez.
Man,
Well, you can just kind of get them lined up for the next turn. Maneuver them around.
or just blitzkrieg.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, that's quite a that parking lot game, where there's all the cars. You got to slide things out of the way to get things out of the way so you can get a car out of the parking lot. That, that's kind of what this looks like to me.
I haven't played that game before.
Oh, there you go. I'm uh, I'm sharing the screen.
You're sharing the
Oh, in
screen.
Discord? Let me
Yeah,
pull it up and take a look.
exactly. Yeah, this is an example of a parking lot game. And I think the idea is you're trying to get the red car out of the parking lot, but things can only move forward and back. Things can't turn.
Oh, I don't
I
see a
don't see
shared
you
screen.
sharing it.
Really?
Is it in the
There.
lobby that you're sharing it, or is it in?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the lobby. I don't see it.
Oh, how weird. I wonder why it did not. And I say go live.
Up
There it
there we
is.
go.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right.
Parking lot. So this looks like Tetris for people who are
Yeah, a
work in
little
the
bit.
valet
Right.
business.
It's really just a case of things have to move, and of course, to get the thing you want to move, you got to move the thing, and
Right.
then you got to move the thing, and then obviously, in more complex versions of it, there's all that foolishness before you can finally get the one car out you want, and that's basically what I'm thinking David is doing right now.
There you go.
Okay, so there we go, adding value every dang day.
There you go. There we go.
Yeah.
This is the service that we provide to all of our
That's right.
thousands of viewers out there.
It is all part of the service.
Well, and it's funny because I was talking with my oldest son today, and he's got a YouTube channel he just started, which
Hmm?
is has Magic the Gathering card sets and stuff like that he's doing. And so he's like, "Hey, I've got 150 subscribers," and he's only had it for like 2 weeks. And I'm like,
Hey, there you go.
and he's
Well,
like, "Oh, and I've
he
had some videos that have had like 3,000 views." And I'm like,
he may have
so
picked a better topic
yeah, he
for the
definitely
mass
picked a game that's
audience.
got a lot more people playing it than
Yeah.
our little bar games, our little. Although I suppose if we made this like you take a shot every time there's an increment loss or you roll a special result, then the bar game would have a different meaning than Battles of the Age of
Well,
Reason.
absolutely.
Yeah,
There'd be less and less reason as we went on.
yeah, definitely. I could
Yeah.
totally see that. So
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
oh, here he goes.
Mm.
He's getting ready to pile on.
That's he's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Where did he start?
Right there.
Oh, okay.
this guy under here. He's gonna go 1, 2. What's it across the stream? Another 1 or 2 for cavalry.
Let's see. Streams for
I think
cavalry
it's
inline, it's +2.
man,
1, 2,
that's the stream and not the
3,
creek, huh?
4,
Yeah,
5,
yeah, that's pretty tough.
and 6.
So going down the slope would have cost, so that would have been 1, 2 to go
2.
there,
Yep.
and then
3,
3,
4,
4, 5,
5.
6. Yep, that works.
Um, All right. So if I do that, they're going 1, 2, 3, 4. And all right. Don't want, I don't want to do him there.
As we are getting ready to go into the Martin Luther King holiday, I see something on the internet that must be observed.
Which is
The
what?
night the night before a day off is more satisfying than the actual day off.
All right. Well, I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying this night particularly, since you.
Well, that's the
That's
idea.
that's that's presuming
Yeah,
you have the day off tomorrow.
and indeed I do.
I do also. The school is closed, so there's no fencing practice.
No fencing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, YouTube's got this little feature where you can make clips of stuff from your videos. And so I thought,
Okay.
oh, I could go into last week's where I managed to roll zeros anytime I need to roll anything but a zero and make a clip and talk about, and this is how everything goes to hell in a handbasket,
Yes,
kind of
sir.
a thing. Yep.
That is how it is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, that was kind of what Cerbaloni was doing
Right.
at my Luthen battle. One of his two commands got hit, and then he activated and then smashed some of the Prussians,
Right.
and then immediately gets a close combat special result. So bam, smashes a bunch more. And it's
Right.
just like, oh my gosh, and it seemed like it was you know special results. So the Prussian units were getting ground up in the process too. So they did pretty well. I mean, all of his troopers have now run for the hills, but
Right.
considering that they were kind of at they were kind of in the crook of being come at from two different directions, and there were a lot of Prussians, and so they did pretty well under the circumstances. It's all the dice, baby.
Yep. No, that's a big
All
part of
that
it.
I think I have finished movement.
You have. All right.
Um, do you have any suggestions for this guy here?
Yeah, it's interesting because I was trying to figure out. I mean, I was trying to figure out if you just move them out there, it would. I mean, first of all, probably not necessary. This guy will probably be more than enough to cause that guy to retreat away, so it's probably not necessary. But he's also not doing any good where he is, so I don't know. Um, or you could just bring him around the other side. Turn him to the east and march down this away. That might actually make sense given as shot up as these guys are.
Yeah.
And obviously, you don't want to go through that hex because those guys are poisonous for the moment.
Right. Yeah. Okay. 1, 2.
So do I get 2 shots? One for him turning and one for him.
Well, it's funny because we never actually addressed whether that's a real thing. First of all,
Or
it
do I
would
not
only
have a
be
line of sight on him? I mean, no, I don't
my.
think I can even hit him because I'd be at 1 to 3,
Yeah,
and
exactly. My
and there's no
my
way I
first
could hit
problem
him.
is I don't think there's line of sight.
Yeah,
Secondly, even if there was line of sight, it's blocked, so you'd at
yeah,
most be getting 1 strength point. So that I don't really see a line of sight
yeah,
here.
yeah. I concur.
I'm kind of viewing it a little bit like a hill, like a little miniature hill.
Yeah, because it's
And
definitely a bit of raised stuff
yeah,
all around there.
yeah,
So
exactly. And
yeah,
he's on the low side and you're on the low side, and then there's a high thing in between you.
yeah.
So to
There's
me, I
two
don't
high
think you
things in between, actually.
Hey, but we're
yeah.
Grinzer skirmishers. We're
Oh,
special
sure.
magical people.
You're
So
about
there's
to be magical.
2, 3,
3. And I think I'll
One,
do that.
and there's 4.
one,
Voila.
2, 3, 4. All right, magnifique. Okay.
And so I think that's movement.
Okay, makes sense.
All right. Now, what else am I going to do here? Oh, shoot. That's slightly wrong, but actually, let's make one adjustment. This guy, when he came over, he went there instead. All right. Now that'll make sense. All right. I'm going to attempt 3 charges
3 charges.
here, here, and here.
Okay.
So we'll start with that one. Oh, and he's
Well, they're
fine.
definitely going in.
So next with that one. And that's whatever. Special
That's
result?
is it a special result?
Oh yeah, no, it totally
Okay.
is.
I don't know
Special
when it's a
result.
special result and when it's a something else.
Well, the only times it really isn't is like on a rally or recovery, disorder recovery, or rally from shaken, um, or
So a 0,
it,
5,
it.
it's re-roll with a plus 10 to your modifier.
Yep.
So they're going to be shaken.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna go.
So that's this one here. So yeah, there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you got anybody who's got a morale of 13.
Mm, yeah, probably not.
And this last one here is going to be that one.
20,
And
15. They're also going to be shaken.
Damn, bro.
I tried.
Yeah.
I have been rolling too good today.
No, in fact,
Well, it
you
makes
have
up
been.
for all the good rolling you had last week.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Because really, you have not been rolling well. That is faux show.
All right. So we got one guy going in. There's he's moving into that hex. So
All right. And so there's only
Yeah.
one person who could be his target, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I then have to make my morale check.
Yep.
So here we go. It's a special for
Well,
me. So a 0-9. If the unit's stacked with a leader, it passes. Well, I'm stacked with a
Well, there
leader,
you go.
so I
All right.
pass.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And so what do we got? We got 15 increments versus.
Oh,
Uh,
let me go first here. So I've got,
15 versus 11, so it's 1-to-1, right?
yep, 1-to-1. And my top unit's a +4. My leader's +2. I'm light cavalry, so that's going to be another +1. So I've got a +7.
Think you got 7.
And
That's
then
right.
he's attacking up the slope, which was, oh, that'll minus something from him.
It's a minus
So
something.
-2 for him.
-2.
Yep.
All right. And he's what, 5,
He's a
6,
6
and then
minus
he
2 is
advanced
a
1.
7.
7 minus 2
So
is
it'd be
5. So the net is a -2, right? My
Yeah, it's
plus
1-to-1.
7. Yeah.
1-to-1 -2. Yeah. Roll well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's may not happen today, but we'll see.
Yeah.
A
0,
special
2.
result.
Oh, boy.
Here we go. That probably isn't too bad, all things considered. So
Well, actually,
2.
not bad, really.
No, it's 3 losses for me and a leader loss potentially.
Yeah, you got to roll the leader
And
there.
2 losses for you. All right, so
Yeah.
let's roll for the leader and see what happens to Nadajdi. A 4. He
Ooh,
dodges a
That
saber.
was close.
Yeah.
That was close.
All right. And then I've got to apply the losses based on the size of the unit. So that's going to go down, I think, 2, right? And then the guy that's on top is going to go
Really,
down.
Yeah, I think
We
that's
go by
right.
the bigger size,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, the bigger unit needs to take
Yeah.
the hit. So, right. And of course, in David's case, it's going to be 1 to each.
Right. So you've got a double marker here. You've got 2 1 hits on it.
Yeah, that doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not
That's
sure.
one way to make the stack really big.
It very
So
impressive.
the bottom unit, the brown jacketed one, had already taken a
Yeah,
hit from the
there you
previous
go.
stuff.
Yep, he's good now. Okay.
All right. So
All right.
so now we do morale things, right? So my morale is top unit
15.
morale is 27 minus 12. Yeah, so 15.
Yeah, it's 15, and his is
21.
21.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
So
so you
21
roll
has to roll first.
54.
Okay.
Good. And then I roll mine. And I'm happy as well.
Okay. So we're going to go back for another round of combat. And in this case, we are looking at, with the attackers now down to 13.
And I've got 4 and 4. I've got 8. So we're still at 1-to-1.
Now 13 to 8 is 1.5 to 1.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, you're right. It's because it's 12. Okay.
Right. And the defender is now just 6.
Right.
And the attacker is now 3. So it's 1.5 to 1 minus 3.
Okay.
Okay. Why am I only 3?
Because you're attacking up the slope, which is -2. So you got 5.
Oh, okay. I was 5 and then -2.
Yeah. I mean, for what it's worth, I mean, I never think about it because terrain rarely comes into effect. But yeah, terrain applies every round.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's 3 to 2. What? 1.5 to 1 minus 3. Roll better.
Oh, 1.5 to 1 minus 3. All right. There.
That's a good one. So that's going to be 5 off. So that's going to be a 4. So 1.5 to 1 with a 4. So that's a 1D and a 1R, if I'm reading that correctly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
why couldn't I
one
got
more.
rolls like that? Oh, well.
Oh, because you did.
All right. So we'll increase that chap. And then we got to get a route marker and plunk it down on somebody. Morale states routed. Okay. And then they've got to go back 6. So, whoops. on. Why did that thing move? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's more or less a straight line from where he was. Okay.
All right. Okay.
And this is disordered. And there's no pursuit because guy moving
Yeah.
into this.
No matter which way you face, you're going to be
Unhappy.
you're gonna have somebody in your zone of control. And I think he needs to be facing south. The retreat path was to the south.
Well, the retreat path was into this hex.
Well, no,
Yeah,
that
but
was
your
the
whole path. I have to change the face.
Oh,
Facing
so
to-
where I'm at. Okay, cool. Good to know.
the thing that we don't really do is the way that the rule is really written. Because to me, the way the rule is really written, it must be a laser straight line,
Right.
and therefore you should never have to change facing while chasing because it should be a laser straight line. So you'd never need to.
Right.
We kind of don't make laser straight lines in our retreats. We make them pretty straight and generally in the right direction, but we really don't. So that it would be possible in some of these retreats that you'd actually have to change facing. But for sure, you have to be facing in the direction of where the enemy went. And then you go, oh, damn, I can't go because, there are these other guys in the way, so I won't.
Well, should I have gone this way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that way? Like right straight back like this?
If you read the rules as they are written, they would give you the impression that yes, you should have gone. And of course, what do they say? They say the run number 1 is away from the enemy,
Right.
and rule number 2 is towards a friendly side of the board,
Right.
right? And so if you looked at it that way, I think it would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it would have told you that explicitly you should not be avoiding enemy units in the retreat, or you shouldn't be avoiding friendly units in a retreat.
Oh, well then let's go ahead and do that if that's what the rule is. I thought we could zigzag around as long as we'd been in a straight line.
That's a bar thing, and so I think what we've kind of, what I've kind of felt fairly comfortable with is if you could pull a thread, and say that is away from the enemy, that is a straight line, it is 6 hexes long, and it's towards a friendly. I'm okay with that. Of course, in
Right.
that case, it would have gone through a friendly hex if I'd done it that way, because you can see I clipped the 1.
Right. So it would have gone 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right that way.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
I it's just it's
Yeah, we're just used to in La Bataille, generally speaking, that there is a
Absolutely,
if there's a clear terrain, you can it's so the
Well,
last
and-
thing you
and
would
in
do would
fact-
be to retreat into the woods. You'd go through clear terrain first, and then you'd avoid going over your own troops if you could.
exactly, and that's just not the rule here at
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
So, unfortunately, I don't really see a plausible retreat that guy could make that doesn't end up having to run over somebody. I'm looking at, because he was here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what possible path could he take that wouldn't run into somebody. What would this be? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, because he's going to hit him if he's going in a straight line, right?
Well, we're going zigzag, right? So the idea is it's a straight line from here to here, and I'm 6 hexes away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kind of a thing.
Yeah,
Right.
I think if you were an infantry unit marching from here to here, you'd have to go here and then there, and then you'd have to go back here to go there, to go here, to go there,
Right,
right?
which is fine with infantry, but cavalry doesn't do the zigzag. So
Yeah,
that's,
yeah.
and I'm
I'm
routed.
just,
So
uh,
technically I've got it
uh,
facing in all directions. So,
no,
I mean,
no, no, no,
that's,
no, no. That wasn't my point. My
oh,
point
oh,
was
okay.
just that what constitutes a straight line,
Mm-hmm.
and in a straight line, really, you wouldn't get to zig left sometimes and right sometimes. That makes it not straight anymore. Even
Right,
if the beginning and the end are on a line, the fact that you zigged and zagged when it was convenient makes it makes it clear that it wasn't a straight line. By the way, I'm not totally sold on the retreat rule. I'm really there's
Yeah.
so many ways that it makes me unhappy, but I, by the way, also don't have necessarily an improved one.
right.
Um, so anyway, that's why I try not to get too worked up about it because I don't even agree with the rule myself, so it's hard for me to really get pissed about somebody doing it
Okay.
differently. So
Well,
anyway, there you
cool.
go.
All
So
right.
you've run away,
Yeah. I mean, if I need to
and
go over my own unit, let me know. We'll go over my unit. But
yeah,
yeah, if it's sort of, generally speaking, because I know when we played at Prague, we kind of zagged around people with some of the cavalry stuff. So that's why
yeah, yeah. I don't know.
I didn't know.
I wish that there was.
I
When you
mean,
think about the rules being 35 pages long, the idea that the retreat rules are these like two brief little statements. One is
Right.
get away from the enemy, and two, get to a friendly, in a straight line. And it's
especially
like,
when the retreats occur frequently.
Yeah.
well,
Yeah. And
exactly.
to be honest with you, the retreat rules in almost all of these games and American Civil War games, I mean all of them, they always have a certain amount of ambiguity about them.
They do, and in some of Mark Simonich's games, he kind of goes almost to the opposite extreme, where he'll have 8 levels of priority,
Right.
and you're like, oh my gosh, and that seems overdone until you try using rules that aren't like that, and then you
Right.
go, oh, I see what he means, right? So yeah, I don't really know what the answer is, but it is frustrating
Yeah.
because like when you say get away from the enemy and go to a friendly, priority one, get away from the enemy,
Right.
and priority two is go to a friendly map side. Okay,
Right.
well, but what does that mean though? Because if local conditions are such that to get away from the enemy, I have to go away from a friendly map side,
Right.
right? Because that's going to happen from time to time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what does that mean? Does that mean that for the first turn that I'm running away, I run away from the enemy, and then on subsequent turns I run towards a, a friendly map side,
Right.
or does it just mean that I can't get any closer to the enemy, but in order to get anyway, it's just like the number of combinations of permutations is enough to make you insane,
Right.
and so it's kind of like it's almost like you end up house ruling it. Is how strict are we going to be about this?
Right.
And I think we have not been terribly strict about it.
Okay. Well, cool. As long as you guys are happy, I'm happy.
He's
Um,
run away. That's what we wanted.
yeah. So I think we
We
should
didn't get him though.
probably
That's annoying.
end it here because my dinner is been waiting
Oh,
for me for about an
oh
hour
no,
now.
that's
So
terrible. Oh well, it's in that case. There's no reason not to keep going because it's already cold.
All right.
No,
so
that's a fine idea. And this is the
well, and we're
middle
coming
of
up towards midnight for David out on the East Coast, but I don't think he
no, no,
cares. David
no. He
doesn't go to
seems
Yeah,
bed until two
I
o'clock
don't
in the
work
morning.
tomorrow anyways because I only work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays now, and
Oh, you're semi-retired now.
I'm semi-retired now.
Oh, cool. Good for you.
wow, very
Stay,
nice.
stay up as late as I want.
Well, good for
Wow.
you. Well,
Well,
good.
that is
Well,
fine.
I'm
Go get your dinner.
I will do that. We will. Did you flip everybody over? Yeah, it looks like you
I
flipped all your
flipped
people.
yes, I did
Yeah,
flip
leaders.
the
All
thing, and
right.
we got finished markers
Now,
on the other
now I
guys.
guess there's just one last thing I should do. It sounds like maybe Eric, you have looked at this already, so you've probably seen it. But I'm going to
I don't
go
know.
ahead.
Where are you
Um,
at?
I just shared screen on
Oh, on Discord.
on Discord. Yeah.
All right. I'm trying. Let me give me a second. I'm just gonna save the game here.
Yep.
Baloney.
That's it, Sir Baloney. Right there he is.
And this is the 3 o'clock turn. Yeah.
That's in,
It's
you know,
3:20
in
right
Oh,
now,
3:20.
Eric.
contrast to King Salami. So
That's right. And Senor Chorizo,
All right. Give me a second
while
here.
we're
And
talking about our cured meats.
all right, so what do we got here? This is the
oh
this is your
wow. Okay. So this
beautiful
is
table.
this is Luthson.
Yeah, yeah. This is Luthen, which is I took two different pictures. I'm not sure why. The lighting wasn't so great there, so I took an overhead shot, and then the light over here was a little better because it was the next day. But it is the same turn,
Right.
4 o'clock,
And so
and
this is your big wheeling movement around the Austrian left, correct?
that's right, exactly. And the Austrian left started here
Right. Yeah.
and then hightailed it, leaving the Prussians a long, long march to catch up with them.
Right.
And so then there was some cavalry action over here. Our friend Nadazdi um, was engaged with some of this cavalry here and got himself kind of ratted up, but it bought time for the infantry, the lousy Bavarian and Württembergers, to get away.
Right.
This is a long, skinny town, the town of Leuthen,
Okay.
which
Now,
is
is this the same Luthen as the battle in the Napoleonic Wars?
No, that's
no, no,
Lutzen.
not
Luthen.
Lutzen.
Okay.
Yeah. This is
Luthen.
Luthen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pronounced almost the same though, or very similar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
to the extent that we're mispronouncing it anyway.
Yeah.
Who are we kidding? But so the beginning of the battle, the Austrian army is spread out over like 5 miles because they'd gotten wise to the fact that Frederick likes to do outflanking maneuvers. And so they said, well, I can show him. I can just make my army wider. He can never get around my flank. And so they're facing, you know, up and to the left.
Right. Facing
And
north, is it north or kind of north? East?
no, I think
Northwest?
north is
Oh,
this
the top of the
corner
map.
of the
Okay.
field. So they're facing west, and then there's a little skirmishing that goes on up here, and then some skirmishers get sent over this way and apparently got the attention of the Austrians. So the entire Austrian army is looking north and west. And then Frederick marches this way
Right.
around here. So he's now south and west of them and then falls upon this, very weak left wing of the Austrian army. And, of
And
course,
just
the
rolled
problem,
them up. Yeah.
and just rolled them up, absolutely. And of course, because the Austrian army was spread over 5 miles, it took forever for them to, consolidate after they'd been hit. And so then the climactic fighting was here in the town. And I just decided, you know what, rather than just getting all my guys shredded on the left, I just marched them all back to the town immediately, figuring that flipping them into column and marching would be faster than the guys who were trying to pursue me in line.
Right.
Now, here's the thing that I really had not thought about. This turn, the 4 o'clock turn,
Mm-hmm.
of course, this was at the beginning of the 4 o'clock turn, but the 4 o'clock turn is the last full daylight turn.
Oh, wow.
It's December.
Oh, yeah.
In Central Europe. And so it's actually dusk for the next hour, which limits you to 5 hex range. And then after that, it's night. And apparently the battle went on into the night. So it's all one hex range at that point. Of course, the
I
battle
mean,
really
not
is
that your
big.
guns are going to get anywhere close to the Austrians. If they got to march up, it's going to take
Well, I
forever.
mean,
Yeah.
so like there are a bunch of guns. I guess if
Right.
I zoom in a little, we can maybe see them better. Um, the Prussians have a ton of guns,
Oh, wow.
huge
That's
number
a
of
nice little
guns,
pile of guns. Yeah.
and there's a bunch of them over here as well. But again, they're going to have to. By the time they get there, they're going to have to go to point blank range.
Right. And this is
And
1757 also? Is this the
yeah,
last?
it's
Okay.
December of the same year
God, a
that
lot
that
of battles
that
in that one year.
there was Rossbach, which was where the French army was completely shredded.
Right.
And then this was about a month later at Leuthen, where the Austrian army gets completely shredded. Of course, earlier in the year was Prague
Right. And Kolin.
and Kolin, and so yeah, I mean, you practically have the whole battles from the Age of Reason here in 1757.
Did they make a Rossbach battle for Bar?
Rothbard, no, no, they
Okay.
never did. And the truth is, it's one of those battles that the French, there's no way you could get a player to play as badly and to walk right into an ambush. You couldn't do it.
Right.
And the French player would know not to do
Right.
what the French generals actually did. And it was such a lopsided disaster of a battle that there was just no reason to,
Well,
to make a game of it.
that's
There
when you
is one,
take the 5 shots before the French player turn.
exactly.
Yeah.
There is one in Prussia's Glory, which is, one scale up from this.
Right.
And it's kind of like, I'm going to put this out there because it's a famous battle, but don't kid yourself,
Right.
right? It's going to be a debacle for the French, and indeed it is. But anyway, so it's kind of interesting because the battle proper isn't really going to get joined until after dark. Now,
So
obviously,
so how well do these guys defend? Is it a town or is it village hexes?
it's really village hexes.
Okay.
It's kind of like the villages here. It helps a little. It's not
Right.
going to help a lot. But the truth is, if these guys were out here, they were going to get
Oh, they get completely
absolutely
toasted. Yeah.
shredded. Because let me be clear how bad these guys are. The Württembergers, they've got effectiveness ratings over 50.
Oh my God. They're like Spanish mobs.
The Bavarians are like in the 40s.
Hmm.
And that's their line infantry,
Wow.
you know. So they're terrible. So the intent for me was to just to march the Württembergers around and just get them out of the way. All they are is just the opportunity to lose army
Use
morale
points.
points,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So to me, no point to that whatsoever. So of course, here's the right wing furiously trying to march their way this way, while the kind of the middle is setting up in here, and they're setting up artillery. There's some Austrian cavalry that's showing up over here. There's
Sarah
Cerboloni, and
Baloney. Yep.
that was his famous charge right there. Of course, now all of his guys have scattered to the winds because I think I played two more turns now after
Right.
where we are here. But this is just a good photograph for just kind of showing, first of all, it's 4 full-size maps.
Yeah. No, you told me it was huge. So it's the size of, well, actually, the Prague map is only 3.
That's
So,
what I'm saying.
so this is like one of the largest they've got out there.
I believe it is the
Yeah.
biggest one because I'm thinking Zorndorf is 3, Kolin is 3. I don't think any of them are 4, but
Yeah.
it's just a monster. And fortunately, I just happen to have a table big enough
Yep.
that I'm able to set the whole thing up, and it's really different, especially if you've played, I don't know, um, if you've played Chatuzits or Mulvits or Lobosits, where the maps are really small. I just feel like I'm doing so much maneuvering here.
Right.
It's just there's so much open space. It's like, wow, it feels different. I mean, it's still obviously very recognizably a bar game, but it just feels different. Anyway, just I'm having some fun with it, but it is funny to realize that the whole battle is going to happen at dark because the Austrian left wing withdrew so fast that that the Prussians won't hit them until it's after dark, and then
Right.
it's just going to be a knife fight in the alleys of Luthen.
Wow. That looks
We'll
like a
see.
great game. That looks like a
Yeah,
fun one.
it's fun. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with y'all because I know
Looks
that
like you're
is
having
just
fun with that one.
yeah, yeah. So and maybe a little more of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We'll be engaging in that a little bit further.
There you go. Well, keep us posted. Are you putting the photos and after action stuff up on the Consim page or?
I actually am I can't make up my mind where I like to post this stuff. So I'm posting some of it on War Games on Your Table, which is a geek list on Board Game Geek.
Okay.
I've actually posted it on Your Table, which is a channel on Consim World.
Okay.
And then honestly, there's an Italian Facebook group that's Battles from the Age of Reason. Many of the people in the group are Italian. Some of the posts are in Italian. They are totally cool with people posting in English.
Right.
And so I haven't posted on there, but I probably will when I've got another turn or two and I've got some interesting pictures to show. Um, just, I don't know. I just like to share the experience.
Sounds cool. Sounds cool.
All
Well,
right.
and are you on our Facebook page for Clash of Arms Battles of the Age of Reason? There's a Facebook
Um,
page.
well, I mean, the Italian group I was talking about is Facebook. Is there another Facebook group that
There
I don't know
is. There
about?
is one. Mark Ruggiero started it, and
Really?
yeah, and then because he's been unwell, he
Of
he
course.
asked if I could administer it, so I've been admin for it. I'll send you an invite
Would you
because that would be a
please?
great place to post stuff. We're trying to get some more content up there. I post from time to time links for our live stream, but yeah,
Okay.
if you had some pictures or after action stuff, that'd be cool.
Oh, I see it now. Clash of Arms Battles from the Age of Reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I'd never seen that one before. I've
It's
seen this one
relatively
called.
new. I think Mark
Oh, okay.
started it maybe less than a year ago or
Okay.
something like that. It
All
hasn't
right.
been around for too terribly long.
All right.
But
Well, yeah, by all means. I mean, it's one more place for me to post more pictures.
sure. Cool,
Why
cool.
not? All right.
All right, gentlemen, we will
Very good.
sign
All
off
right.
and
I'll
say
see you tomorrow at
so
noon.
long.